Hello and welcome to Will It Fun for Mothership.
Woo!
Yes! Joining me around the table are Ross Dickinson. Obviously, you know Sara. Sara from Thornhill.
I've kind of been here before.
Yeah, you've done this once or twice.
It's like our thing. Like,
yeah.
We do this. Like,
that is where I recognize you from.
Yeah. I'm usually sitting on that side of the table, like, with you.
Oh, it's like the angle is wrong.
Yeah,
I see the
so
front
just
of
totally
your
don't
head.
recognize me at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Super weird.
Yes.
Super weird. Sara from
well,
Thornhill
nice
Gaming.
to meet you. Our producer is with us, Gabriel Hurley. Thank you very much.
Also of Thornhill Gaming.
Indeed, indeed.
It's true.
And Cathy Yaghi joins us as well.
Hello.
So, welcome to Mothership. 3 of you have played this.
Yes.
1 of you is not.
Who could it be? Oh, wait, it's me.
It is you. It's definitely you. So, Sara and Gabriel have both been in the same campaign, and then Cathy was in the same module in a different group entirely. So you 3 have experienced some version of Mothership before. You've actually experienced the same content of Mothership, but you came at it from very, very different angles.
Yes.
So I'm curious how the 3 of you, now knowing what your solution style is, will approach this particular puzzle.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm
some
excited
point-
too.
At some point, I'm sure I will lean over at the table again and just start screaming, "I'm going to throw up!" Like
You see, that's my private.
that was my stress response was like leaning on the table and just yelling, "I'm going to puke."
That's my goal. I'll
look
be
forward to
serious.
it.
I love it.
I had a lot of fun, but it was very stressful.
I get that. No, I get that. All right.
So the name of the game in Mothership is it is stress. Stress is like the key element of Mothership. You're all in space, bad things are happening, and you may or may not die. Surprisingly, in the games that we've played before, we had 0 player character fatalities.
Wow.
I'm sure we can fix that.
I don't even know how that happened.
It's
we should have died like 7
freakish.
times.
Or
A
goes
lot.
full TPK. This
yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
everybody, thank you very much, and the
Goals.
game is over.
What did you tell us at the beginning of the first time we played? The correct answer is to go home.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's absolutely legitimate.
No, and leave.
Oh, something's wrong? Yeah, I've left.
Yeah.
Our campaign almost went that way.
Yeah.
It was very close.
Ross, however, has experienced none of this. So, Ross, I
Clean slate.
encourage you to, while we play, to ask as many questions as possible because you're the only one who hasn't done this before.
Why are we here?
I was gonna say,
Why
you
are we
don't
all
want to
here?
tell that to Ross.
I mean,
That's fair. That's absolutely
we'll be here
fair.
all night.
The answer to life, the universe, and everything.
This
42.
is the
Exactly.
story of how we never bothered to play Mothership.
Yep. 7 hours later, thank you. We are beginning now. All right, so let's build a crew. Now, at this point, Gabriel, can you explain your attire?
In our previous text thread about this, I decided that I am an unethical scientist.
So the class itself is scientist. He's decided to add some specificity to that. Cathy,
I thought I would be a teamster.
that sounds awesome.
Fun.
I think that those 2 are fantastic core classes. Also, the other 2 core classes that wrap this that are available to choose just from the base game itself are Marine and Android. Do either of you have any leanings at this point? And it's okay to answer no.
I have no strong preference. I could go either way.
I don't know. The Android side is interesting, but they both sound like fun.
Okay.
You're also shiny.
You are shiny.
I'm
We're shiny
You are
today.
quite
You
shiny.
That
Shiny
shirt's
pizza.
fantastic.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, could be a shiny spacesuit.
You could-
For a Marine.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
be.
Could
No,
be
I'm
a
with it.
shiny.
You know, I'm also
Absolutely.
like still wearing like my lightly military-esque, top.
See, I could go like military or Teamster either way. It's like
That's
that-
kind of why I
Yeah.
wore this for this, is it could go either direction.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
a matter of like, well, do we need a Marine on this mission?
I'm not gonna tell you.
I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen. It'll
Definitely
be fine.
nothing bad's gonna happen.
Just going to keep getting up.
It's what I do. It's one of the things I do.
All right. So the way that we are going to work this is everybody has your blank character sheet. You've got a little scratch piece of paper. You don't necessarily need it, but for those of you who are rolling your stats for the very first time, you will roll your stats and then you will choose your class. Your class will then augment your stats, which means that you're going to want to do it in pencil or on scratch paper if you're using pen. So let's all take 2d10 And on our scratch paper, I'm going to roll a character as well for just no reason whatsoever at all. Definitely not a spare person. Roll 2d10 plus 20 4 times. $35 coming out strong.
Sorry, I'm
That's-
going to clarify on that
Yeah.
really quick. So 2d10, so I rolled a 3 and a 0. So I'm looking at 3 plus 20 on every one, or am I doing a 20 and then all of the
So 3 plus 10
3 plus
plus 20. Sorry, yeah.
3
So
plus 10
in
is 20, okay.
in this, the zeros are 10s for stats as opposed to 0 zeros.
Okay.
So a 3 plus a 0 is actually a 13 for stats.
Thank you.
So generally you'll be seeing stuff in sort of mid 20s to mid 30s. If you get like a baller stat in the close to 40, like
37.
that's fantastic. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
You said 4 of
I got a
these?
couple of good
Yep.
ones.
4 of them.
Into my
I am
intellect.
true neutral.
True neutral. So another reason that I like to do this on scratch paper is that so the stats in order as you roll them, if you roll them in order, are strength, speed, intellect, and combat. What I like to do, this is just my own flavor, is if you roll them in that order, and then you can swap 2 of them. Just because, like, the scientist, if you happen to roll in third slat, like, 2, that's garbage. Okay, flop that with a good one. With a
Well,
good
yeah,
one.
if
Go
I'm,
ahead.
well,
It
I
actually
mean,
worked out perfectly for me in the correct order.
Oh, very nice. Very
I mean,
nice.
I should probably flip mine. If I'm gonna end up a Marine, I really should flip these.
It
into
sounds like
combat.
you're going Marine.
I think I'm going Marine.
Okay,
Awesome.
okay.
All right.
So
And
we write those in the circles at the top here, right?
not yet,
Oh,
because
not yet.
depending on your class, then it
Right.
will be adjusted.
But if I can
Modifiers.
only flip one, then oh no, because I got like I got 29s on either end. So if I were to have rolled them in order, I can only up my strength or my combat.
Hey, you could be really weak and
I
great
could
at combat.
I could be
This
weak
is
and
true.
great at combat. So you're,
You're
right.
just
you're
like the
right.
absolute
Ranged.
ninja.
Maybe that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Or like a weapons expert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you're just
That's
badass
true.
with a gun.
That's
Sniper.
true.
yeah.
I'll like move. I'll swap like speed and combat.
All right.
There you go.
So it
Yeah,
sounds like
I
we've
think that's
landed
what
on
I'll do.
Marine, which is
Yeah,
excellent. So
yeah.
Ross, now there's with a 4-player group, it is really, really tempting for most people to be like, oh, okay, well, I will take the extra class. In Mothership, every class, you could have a group of all scientists or all Marines or all Teamsters. Absolutely valid. The major thing about Mothership is that you're not trying to stat your way across the table. You're encountering a problem and you are trying to solve your way through it. You're not trying to stat your way through it. You're not trying to skill your way through it. Mothership, one of the guiding lights that that a lot of the folks in the Mothership Discord, for example, and even the creator himself, Sean McCoy, state you don't want to roll unless it is necessary. You want to roll when it is interesting that failure would adjust the outcome of the story. So stats are less interesting than who you are as a character. So if we have 2 androids, like, okay, well, that's awesome. If we have 2 Marines or 2 scientists, like, whatever is cool. So you may be feeling like you should be an android because there isn't an android at the table. Ignore that impulse. Just
Good to know.
I was definitely flipping between like Teamster or Marine.
Sure,
It's
sure.
like those are my 2 ends, but I think I'm sticking with Marine at this point.
sounds good.
I feel like he should be an android because of his lack of humanity.
And his shirt.
I do not know
That
what you're
shirt,
talking
man.
about. No, actually, I like the idea of an android. I think it's gonna if problem solving is a big part of this game, then I feel like variety of ways to come at it is a strength.
Yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
it'd be fun to play an android. So
Yeah.
and I am a bit shiny.
You are rather shiny.
Shiny.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'm going that way.
Okay, so then let's roll the saves. So the way that stats work versus saves are almost universally in response to something. So you were being shot at from a distant hill and there's a catapult volleying towards you. Sure, We'll pretend that sentence made sense.
I was like, that sounded like word salad, guy.
It did make sense, but I thought you said falling for a moment. I was like, it's a
let's
catapult
do that better.
Catapult.
A catapult is falling from a ledge above you. There we go. Use your body save to jump out of the way because you're trying to react to something, or or it could be a fear save, depending on really how we roll with that. So the saves are in response to something. The stats are when you're trying to actively do something, and the stats will also be augmented by your skills.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you have a skill in, say, geology, then you will add a +10 bonus to your intellect because that's an intellect-based skill. Or you could argue, and I highly recommend this, argue that say, like, well, I've got geology, but I'm trying to bust open this rock, and my strength is better. So let me use my strength skill and add 10 to that because of my geology. So we'll get into that, but basically you guys tell me what you want to do, and then we'll discuss how to approach it. Cool?
Cool.
All right. So roll 2d10 plus 10 for each save.
In order.
We can switch that around if necessary.
I'm bad at rolling.
What is happening?
Good or bad?
Bad. I just rolled 2 twos twice
I
in a
think
row.
I just stole a lot
dude.
of luck.
What'd you do?
Only one of mine was below 20.
Only
Yeah,
one-
this-
Good.
only
The
one
saves being 2d10 plus 10 are like, they're frighteningly weak.
Like
They're
the first one was good. I got 19, so a 29 altogether. But then after that, I rolled a 4, and an 8.
wait, why are you
Whoa.
rolling
There's
3
only
things?
3.
Oh shit!
Why don't you skip one of those 4s and
Because
then
I was
just give yourself
I was
an 8?
in awe of the the
Of
writing.
the craptasticness of...
The yeah.
Yeah.
I
just
can't
took off
believe
the
you
last
didn't
one.
like pre-roll your dice. I checked to make sure we didn't want to
I
play today.
did. The first set was great. That first try, I like used it up.
Where is
Are you-
my
are you
dice
like-
Because
tray?
we're sharing a dice tray, I'm stealing your luck.
Yeah.
Share,
of a
share with
bitch.
her.
That would be very awkward.
Gonna put like a little partition.
Kathy has her own dice tray way
you
over
really,
here.
Do you really? You don't use siphoning luck. That's so rude.
Hey, no, I
rude.
usually roll quite well.
You do.
Like,
You
my
really-
dice tray
you
and
really
my dice
Sir,
are
consistently
sir,
roll
that
well.
sounds unethical to me.
Oh,
So it's a character choice. That's what I'm
like,
hearing.
My dice are. I'm very happy with my selections of dice.
After
for
a
this
plus
game.
10, I got a 14, 16, and a 21. So
Ooh, very nice.
on the lower side.
All
of-
right.
Yeah,
numbers
that's
could
really.
be.
That's
Yeah, that's
actually
garbage.
quite low.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yep.
I was like,
And
all
my
mine are
stats
above
in the
20.
same range.
Yeah, you need to switch out.
Yeah.
I
Do I need to get you new dice?
I was like, I have more dice too. Like we can just.
I like a good challenge.
Would you like
Okay.
a selection?
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna leave it.
I'm getting all the bad rolls out of the way now, so it'll
That's-
be amazing
that's
later.
excellent.
That's what I'm doing.
helpful, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got. All right. So has everybody chosen their class?
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. So then you've got your class there.
Where?
You've got just below. The cool thing about the Mothership character sheet is that it is a flow chart. It says 1. Step 1 is roll 2d10 plus 10 for each stat.
So we need to write those in now?
So this is the part where step 3 comes in.
I write them in and I just like erase and augment, but that's
It
just
works.
me.
Like whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
And then you add so we're down to step 3, select your class. So when you select your class, and I'm going to choose a scientist here because we're in a scientific research facility. These folks know that's not a surprise. I'm going to select a scientist, and then the scientist, for example, it says you get plus 10 to your intellect, plus 5 to one stat that you get to choose, and then plus 30 to your sanity save.
Wow.
Which is
What?
really awesome.
That's
'Cause-
huge.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I remember
logical.
in the game that we played with Sarah, the sanity save came in very handy. When you fail a save or a check, typically speaking, you will gain a stress. If you critically fail, and critically fail is rolling doubles above your skill, is you panic. And panic is real bad. So anytime you can avoid doing something badly, yeah, just take that opportunity. Fear.
Okay, so
Yeah,
now we'll
Marine
do
here was the right call.
that.
My stats are pretty rad for this.
Nice.
I do like that Teamsters get +5 to all stats and +10 to all saves, which is pretty.
Yeah, Teamsters are.
nifty.
They're kind of like
often-
generalists.
Yeah.
I get
It's
minus
kinda
10 to
good.
one stat. And I rolled terribly to start with, so this is
But
great.
you get the +20 to your intellect and
yeah.
the +60 to your fear. So that's kind of.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Okay. Does everybody have their statistics and their salves?
I need one.
Yes.
No.
Fantastic. Take 1d10 and roll it.
Ross, do you still need a
Make it
second?
high.
Yeah, I'm still putting mine in.
Ross
sorry.
needs a second.
Minus 10.
So do I. So do I.
Plus 20. Okay.
What were we doing? Sorry.
1d10.
I'm here now. 1d10. Okay.
All right, we're on step 4. Roll 1d10 and add 10.
Okay.
I like that the character sheet actually tells you exactly what to roll for each step.
Yes.
Very nice.
That's so nice.
I kind of wish I'd been looking at that, actually. That would have been helpful. But thank you. That's good. Okay, cool.
Did you roll okay this time?
I did, actually.
Nice.
Okay, so what's your roll?
I rolled an 8.
I
You
also
oh
rolled an
my
eight.
god!
10. Yeah, it's
Eight
not bad.
buddies.
Yay.
I got a
Nice.
7. I'm right behind you.
Ooh, nice.
Good enough.
That's good. That's good.
Good enough.
Good nerve. All right, and Gabe, what are you?
It was also an 8.
Oh, dear lord! And I rolled a 9.
That's why we high five.
Yeah. So we got an 8,
An 8 and 8.
an 8, and a 7. All right.
Ross is gonna roll a 1.
No,
is that my
don't
job?
jinx him.
How about a 5?
Oh, that's not bad.
Five's all right. All right.
True neutral. Like this character's like right down the middle.
So here's the thing on why we are rolling this. We're at step 4, roll for your health. So you are a Marine and you are an android. As the scientist and the teamster, so what we're looking at right now is 3 rows of bubbles. And each of the bubbles is solid 10 and then sort of a vapory 10 past that. So that is your health. Think of it like a Legend of Zelda kind of heart where it's like sectioned into pieces and each of those pieces is like 1 health. And then when you lose an entire heart, that's bad. So don't do that. So you two, my Marine and my android, you both get 3 full health bars.
So we get all 3 rows.
Yeah, you get access to all 3 rows. The easiest way to do this is you just take the 3 rows on the right and erase 16, 17, 18, and 19,
You
20.
see what I have done? I rolled a 7.
Oh.
So from 18 up, I just cross them
Yeah,
out.
just cross them
Okay.
out. They don't exist.
So because
don't
I got
get
a
those.
5, I roll discard the 5 on the right?
15.
That's
Yeah,
16
from
through 20.
16 up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just
16,
cross out
17,
16 through
18,
20,
19, 20.
but
Yep.
you have 3 rows of health.
Right. But what about the +1 for being an android?
That's what we're
That's
talking
why
about.
you get
Okay,
all
yeah,
3
got it.
bubbles.
So
That's
you
why
get
all
3 rows of health. You get 3 rows of health, and you got a 7.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
So you, so 17, 34, 51. You have 51 total health.
And I have
Yeah.
45. Got it.
I'm gonna have to murder you.
Murder me so hard, God. Murder me so hard.
It's gonna happen. All right. So Gabe, you have an 8. 18 times 2.
Exactly. 36, but I only get 2 rows, right?
Right. So you cross out the
Same.
entire top row.
Done and done.
Okay.
And you also cross out the entire top row.
I crossed out.
I
did the bottom?
I always do the bottom.
That works too. You cross
Sorry,
out
okay.
one of them.
One
You're
row.
like, give me the middle. I don't care. As long as you know correctly what you are.
Okay.
Just know how many bubbles you have.
I have bubbles.
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 Bubbles, bubbles. Okay, this is the core element of the game. Like we mentioned before, stress. There is one thing that I like to do in my games, and that is that the captain of the ship has a little bit more stress because there's just more to manage. It's a little more problematic.
Being in charge is hard.
Being in charge is hard. I've also done a couple of other little things. So the ship itself has a bit of a personality, depending on whose ship it is. So we have a teamster and a scientist and a marine and an android. Who's captain of this ship?
I don't think that I am.
So you were
Okay.
captain before in game 1, and neither of you were captain, and you haven't played before. So I don't know. What'd you guys think?
I don't know.
I don't know. I
Is
feel
it
like
a marine?
Would you like,
feel like
some
either way,
information
yeah.
on what that could affect?
What does it mean to be captain?
So what it means to be captain is that in my games, and again, this is not in part of the main Mothership thing. They're
It's a
actually
house rule.
it's a house rule. Yeah, the Mothership group they're coming out with first edition in December, I think, later this year, regardless. And there's a thing called the Ship Breakers Toolkit that they're still working on. They did a version of how ships were built and how you could create your own ship, and they were like, you know what, this is just way too complicated. We like simple rules, so let's just throw all that out the airlock. So I've created my own little rules just because they don't exist yet. So if you were in charge, my Marine, for example, the ship itself could repair armor that's been damaged, and you also have 2 externally mounted heavy machine guns.
That's really nice.
The corporate android has a greatly extended communications range, which may or may not come in handy. And if you were to pass into corporation space, you would not necessarily need to provide any additional credentials.
Could be useful.
Could be useful. The Teamster Freighter is equipped with 2 high-speed cargo rovers and 3 zero-G loader suits. If you've
like
seen
that.
the movie Aliens,
That
that's
sounds
what we're
good.
looking at.
Yeah.
Those rovers.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of cool with
Yeah.
that.
So now you're captain.
I'll be. Shit, you guys
There's
are
no
in trouble.
accounting for a scientist.
Wait,
Yeah,
what-
I'll be captain.
just
Yeah.
If you were, oh yeah, I mean, if you
Argument's
want to know
sake.
about scientists, yeah, sure. At the beginning of each mission, your ship has automatically generated 4 stim packs.
Oh.
And all medical and research actions are performed with plus 15 and at advantage.
Nice.
But what do I get because I'm unethical?
It is instead performed at plus 15 and at advantage.
I see.
Yes.
Excellent.
Each of them has a couple of other stuff like how far they can jump, how much cargo they can carry, how many people they can put in cryo, but none of that is going to matter at this particular moment.
Fair.
Okay. So you guys are good
I'm,
with.
I'm voting for the Teamster.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Teamster?
I'll take it.
All right, so you 3, my android and my marine and my scientist, please put your current stress at 2 and your maximum stress at 2. I'm sorry, your minimum stress at 2. Your maximum stress. Your
Is-
maximum stress.
Your maximum
I
stress
would like
is
another
death.
gin and tonic, please. Your maximum
Are you
stress
feeling
is
stressed, sir?
no. Why? You, however,
Yes.
4 and 4.
4 and 4.
Yep. You'll also get a
Good to be captain.
neat little a piece of equipment, which we'll get to later.
Okay. Ooh, that's exciting.
Yes.
right.
Yes. So,
Power has its privileges.
It does. It does.
so we've done our stress. Step 6, take note of your class's trauma response. I'm going to start with you, Cathy, and move around the table counterclockwise. So as the Teamster, tell us what you got.
I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm looking.
Number
Step
6.
Step 6.
Step 6. Oh, okay. So as the
Go with the
Teamster,
flow chart.
thank you guys. As the Teamster, once per session, you may take advantage on a panic check.
Yep. So the way that the panic check works is that if you panic, you will roll a d20, which I will provide because it's awesome and I love it. You will want to roll above your current stress. If you roll above your current stress, you don't panic. You keep it together. But the higher your stress goes, the more likely it is that if you panic, you will actually encounter some problematic event just within your own psyche. So that
What could possibly go wrong?
so many beautiful things.
No, it's fine.
For
It'll be fine.
This is fine.
Just
For
fun.
Yeah.
those of you watching or listening, Kai really enjoys that
I
part.
love it. I love it. Oh my god. In the first game that we played, Gabriel played a Teamster who was also the captain, but that's irrelevant. And he panicked, and he rolled under his panic, even with
Under stress.
he rolled under. Thank you very much. He rolled under his stress, but because he did it at advantage, he got a specific result on the panic table, which completely changed the course of the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
was
It really did.
Stunning.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 2,000% more awesome, actually, even with the better result.
It prevented us from leaving.
From just bail. Yeah.
And
We couldn't just bail.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
Because
we
we bailed.
really wanted to bail, and we couldn't bail.
You couldn't.
Yeah,
No.
Excellent.
it was, it was honest. Oh my god, I was so deeply pleased. I was like, "Hey, you're gonna hate me, but you have to stay."
It was brutal, but it was perfect.
It was so good. Anyway, for those who
Oh my.
It's fine. I dropped a rock.
were curious, we were
I'm a
playing
crystal bitch.
Epsilon 5. I'm sorry, no, Epsilon 14. There is no Epsilon 5. I don't know why I thought 5 was a thing that should come out of my brain. Anyway, so yes, you have said
Yes.
panic. You roll at advantage. So
Yes.
whichever roll is more useful, then it's good. Basically, if you roll above your current stress, I'm going to let you skip the panic entirely, because that's the mechanic. If both rolls are under your current stress or meet your current stress, then I'll take whichever is lowest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is once per session? Is that like for the entire game this session?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So at one point you're like, I just rolled a
So hold on to it.
bad one, so
Oh, so
let me roll
you can
again.
pick after the fact.
I'm gonna let you.
Nice. I
Yeah.
like
That's
that.
entirely up to the
Nah.
warden. I am the warden. The Mothership's GM is called the warden. So when you're referring to me, please say, "Excuse me."
Warden motion?
Yes.
Wasn't that?
Yes.
I won't be doing that.
That's appropriate.
Mr. Kaibot.
You may, yes.
Warden Kaibot.
Warden, Mr. Kaibot. Yes.
Oh, I like that. I'll do that.
Mr. Warden Kaibot. All right,
fine.
Gabriel.
The scientist, whenever you fail a sanity save, all nearby friendly players gain 1 stress.
Yes.
Which leads me to wonder if maybe my best strategy is simply to alienate everyone else at the table.
As a scientist, I uphold that decision.
Excellent.
Yes.
It is something a scientist would do. Maybe.
What is your sanity save right now?
46.
All right. All right.
That's pretty darn high.
That's pretty darn high. All right. Okay. Marine.
Marine, whenever you panic, every nearby friendly player must make a fear save.
Yes. And that is only when you panic,
Yes.
not when you make a panic roll.
Yes.
All right. Android.
Which actually leads nicely into mine, because as an android, fear saves made by nearby friendly players are at disadvantage.
Yes.
So I'm intimidating?
Let's talk about androids for a second. Androids in Mothership are genuinely disturbing. If you're familiar with the context, Uncanny Valley. Uncanny Valley is where something is neither so caricaturistic. Is that even what is the adjective
now.
version of that? So much a caricature that it can just be like, oh, cutesy, weird, or it is so realistic. It's typically done in animation. So when you see something that is not so realistic as to be arguably realistic, or not so much a caricature as to be considered a caricature, it is in this weird space in the middle where you're just like, just looking at this makes me uncomfortable. That is what androids are.
It's like they were trying to make it super realistic and failed. And you're like,
Yeah.
there's something weird about it. It doesn't look right.
Something isn't right.
Yeah. So the way that I like to describe androids physically, at least in my games, and this is entirely different depending on who the warden is or how you want to decide to play it. The mechanic stays the same, but I like to say that androids are generally like something that looks kind of like a crash test dummy, but a little worse. Like maybe it's hit a few cars already and been put back together.
Yeah.
So it's not, you look at it and you're like, hey, I want to stay away from you. And additionally, there's a thing in terms of how androids behave is that they're programmed. They're programmed by humans who think that they know what they're doing. Generally speaking, we don't.
No.
So it is entirely possible to say, like, look, if we were doing a long-term campaign, you could say, okay, well, cool. Let's make part of my backstory like what I saw an android do that was absolutely terrifying and made me distrust them permanently.
Sure.
Yeah. We're not going to bother with that because this is going to be a one-shot.
That's fair.
Anyway, so yes, so androids are just universally unsettling to biological life forms. All right, here we are on step 7. Now, this is a part where you get to have more agency about like the development of your character as opposed to just like dealing with dice rolls. So the Marine, for example, gets a few specific things. The android gets a few specific things. The Teamster gets a few specific things, and the scientists get to choose a few specific things. So you want to just kind of talk out what, as a group, would be kind of fun after you choose the things that you absolutely must. So Android, since we were talking about you, linguistics, computer, mathematics, you just get those automatically. And then you get a bonus expert skill or 2 trained skills. Now, the way that skills work in Mothership is you have trained skills on the left side, you have expert skills in the middle, and then you have master skills on the right. Each of these skills add a point bonus to your roll when you're rolling on your stats. So let's say that if I have zoology and that's a trained skill, I'm going to use that plus 10 bonus as a trained skill on top of my arguably intimidating 41 intellect, and I will then be trying to roll under 51. So whatever your stat is that is appropriate for that skill, you're going to add the bonus that's associated to that skill and then try to roll underneath that. So your stats are kind of a jumping off point that your skills then build off of. So as a scientist, for example, I get to choose 1 master skill and an expert and a trained skill prerequisites. The way that the skill tree works here is, if you've ever seen a skill tree, you'll need to like get trained skill first, and then that will unlock an expert skill, and that will unlock a master skill. So then at the far right, at the top tier of that skill tree, you'll be able to say like, well, I've got this because I have a background in this, because I have a background in this.
But like the very first one there, linguistics doesn't have an expert skill. It just goes straight to master skill.
That's correct.
Okay, so they're variations.
Yeah, exactly. So linguistics is a perfect example of something where things get a little interesting. That one's, and again, we're working on the first edition work in progress character sheets here. So these are not necessarily what you'll see when you buy the game later this year in 2022, which I highly recommend you do.
In the case of like, the Marine and getting to choose either 2 trained skills or an expert skill, is the expert skill, I just swung my pencil all over the place, is the expert skill have to, if I were to take an expert skill, does it have to be tied to one of the starting skills?
I think that's up to the Warden typically. Given this one shot, I'm going to say go ahead and take an expert skill and whatever prerequisite trained skill.
Fancy.
However,
Oh, damn.
I think if you're going by the letter of the law, then you only get an expert skill that you have a trained skill prerequisite
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Yeah.
On the scientist one, it specifically says that you basically pick a master skill and then must work backwards through the
Yeah.
skill tree.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I would have
So you
filled it
can't
out.
say take cybernetics and then ecology and linguistics.
But I did take cybernetics.
Good. So cybernetics, for example, you can only back that out into the expert mechanical repair.
Which I did.
Excellent.
And then to jury rigging.
Ooh, jury rigging is honestly one of my favorites, because jury rigging is like, I'm gonna figure this out, I guess. Let's give it a go.
It is also the most unethical.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I took my other trained skill in zoology, so apparently I really love just shoving implants into animals.
Wow.
Oh, you know what? I think
Why do I want you on my
so much? Sometimes your
Fine.
crew.
Paying customer.
Sometimes you don't choose your crew. Sometimes your crew is just assigned to you by the
True,
corporation. You don't get to
true.
argue.
So
All right.
now given your house rule, I feel a little bit bad like taking hacking, because I feel like that's a useful skill, but I've already got computers. Whereas if I took a different expert level skill, I would get the trained skill for free.
Why don't you talk to me about it? Let me know what's in your Android
I
mind.
See, I see. Okay.
Yeah, what are you looking
Hacking
at?
is useful.
Hacking is
So hacking
useful.
I definitely want. But like, I Well, jury rigging felt like the other useful skill, but
And this is why we should talk about this among the table.
sure.
Totally.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've got jury rigging, cybernetics, and then mechanical repair.
Right.
That seems like a really good spread. You've got linguistics and computers, Ross,
And math.
and math. Yes. You've got some fighty stuff, Sarah.
I automatically come with athletics and military training because Marine. I was going back and forth about like which direction I want to go with the rest of it. It's like, well, I could go like, if I'm going to take the 2 train skills, I could just take like industrial equipment and like, something else, like 0G or something that would make sense. Or I could go like wildly outside of it and just have like, theology for no reason.
But maybe we need that. We don't know.
I mean, I'm a pretty smart Marine. Like I rolled a
Right.
34 on my intellect.
Oh, nice.
So,
dang.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just so you know, I automatically come with 0G.
Got it.
So
so you
zero
guys
G, as far as a skill goes, is really only useful to you because it's you maneuvering in 0G.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it is a low gravity environment, not a zero gravity environment, at least on the planet Yaghi 9 where we are. So I'll tell you right now that it will have an impact potentially, but it won't have a universal detriment to those of you who don't have it.
Got it. Does anyone else have piloting? I was thinking of taking piloting.
Ooh, that seems
Well,
like that would
you're
be
the
useful.
captain.
I'm the
so I
captain,
feel
right?
like
It
you
makes
should
sense,
Definitely
yeah.
take piloting.
And since you start with 0G, it's an easy.
It's an easy jump up, yeah. Yeah.
Now, something to note about the piloting skill itself. In Mothership on the Discord, we had a grand discussion about this in which it turns out that in first edition, piloting is going to be removed as a skill. Because the explanation is, and I think that this is a reasonable explanation, even though I fiercely disagree with it, is that in the beautiful future, most of the piloting is done by AI.
Right.
You don't need to pilot your ship because
That's fair.
the computer brain can do it better than you possibly could.
But what if the AI goes out?
That's a great question.
It's also my legitimate real life fear.
Wonderful, beautiful question. Then I
What
guess
if the
you'll just
AI
be
goes
rolling
out?
at disadvantage.
Shit. Shit.
I had nothing to do with it.
Why are you on my ship?
So to round out my character, I
Yeah.
feel like as the android, I like the concept of the android is always trying to understand humans better. So
Sure.
I feel like just if he knew at least a little bit about like art or theology, those are my kind of like, just because he's trying to have in some insight into how humans work and
Awesome.
like have a conversation with humans.
I really love that idea. Those are not going to be useful here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can still take them.
Yeah, you can take
I will
them even
tell
though
you
they're
right
nice.
now,
Right.
you're going to have to sway me real hard to make those like usable stats here.
Right.
However, or usable skills here. However, I will absolutely allow them because it sounds just lovely. It sounds
Great.
absolutely delightful.
I think I'm just going to go straight on like across the board and just stick with like super military and just, I think, probably go hand-to-hand combat. I'm going to take
that's
one
smart.
expert skill instead of the,
Instead of two
Two
trained.
trained.
Yeah. Seems
What?
like a useful thing.
or I
What-
could take tactics.
Oh,
Tactics
saw
seem
that one.
probably pretty good.
Tactics, generally speaking, in function, is more of a discussion-based thing. So it's like, all right, everybody, let's think of how to tactic our way through this potential problem. So like if we're looking at an expanse of geography and we're starting to say like, okay, what's the best position to do? You would use tactics to then say, all right, this is it. Yeah. Or like, all right, you two go over there, you two go over there, arm yourselves with these weapons that we have at our disposal, and you'll get an advantage, or you might not even have to roll at an attack because you've prepared so well.
Interesting.
Hand-to-hand combat is just like, I'm going to mess you up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just trying to decide what is most useful. Or if I'm
Yeah.
following this flow tree right,
Or
I
lo-
could technically also take explosives.
I want you to take explosives.
That'd be good. too.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Was that was that a yes or a no? Was that a
That
yes
was
or a no?
that is live your dreams.
I am a smart Marine. I feel like a smart Marine probably knows something about explosives.
Definitely a possibility. I won't say that either of these will or will not be useful.
Trying really hard to read your face. And I feel like I'm going to take explosives.
Oh,
and
boy.
I'm watching your eyes while I say it. I'm not going to take explosives. God damn you, Kai. All right.
He's a trained actor.
It's true.
I know. It's
I
just
have a
not fair.
degree in theater. It's true. I
All
do.
right. I'm
Yeah.
guys, explosives.
Sure.
Explosives.
Do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Explosives.
Do
Go for
it. Do it.
Screw
What?
it. What's the worst that happens is not useful.
What, the
Right.
worst that happens is something
all die.
blows up that
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to blow up. I think that's fairly obvious.
Yep.
I'm down to blow things up.
Taking it.
Cathy, what you
Taking
got?
it.
What is rimwise?
So rimwise is generally speaking like
Street smarts?
it's streetwise, but rim is like the outer rim.
Oh, got
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's a thing that you're like, oh, that makes sense now.
Totally
that
makes
now
sense.
that I
I know
know the
things
context.
happen
Little
here.
criminal
Oh, okay.
aspect, little street
Yeah.
smart.
I kind of want that.
I know where the black market is.
Yeah. I mean,
there's some
like
people we can talk
you're
to.
in a scientific facility, but that does not mean that everything's above board.
Right?
Especially not when I'm involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
we are
very
working
important.
together, so maybe there's a reason that like I'm cool with this, right?
We're like this scientist. I'm kind of glad that he's on my crew.
Right. Yeah, he's on my side at least, not somebody else's.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm thinking that or athletics. I don't know.
Rimwise sounds fun.
Right?
Yeah,
It would
I
be
would
more
do it.
interesting.
I would do it.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
feels teamstery.
Knowing
I'm
the right
down
people to
with
talk
it.
to could totally be
Yeah.
very team
I'll
strength.
find a way to make that relevant.
And I mean, for me at least, I feel
About the
that,
explosives, Kai.
I'll find a way to make that relevant.
Yes! Gonna blow some.
I would have said the same thing if it were hand-to-hand combat.
I hate you.
I love you.
Love you too.
Gabriel?
I also hate you.
I was going to say that I feel like this portion of the like choosing your skills is sort of one of the more formative parts of coming up with like the backstory of who this character is. And
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, a lot
absolutely.
of this is very much like, okay, cool. Well,
It's like,
what?
who do I feel like I am?
Right. And this is also is how your crew kind of gels
Yeah.
in terms of like what your functions are. Because you do kind of want to spread. There is, so advantage and disadvantage in terms of like skill use and in stat use is huge in this game. Like I would like to state that I want an equal amount of advantage rolls or disadvantage rolls as just straight rolls. Because if you're planning things well, then you're going to give yourself an advantage. Or you might just have two people roll, and you might have two people roll at advantage. You never know. The more that you try to solve the problem that's in front of you, then the more effective you are going to be as a team. And I want to respect that. I want to acknowledge that as a warden. I don't want to just say like, oh, cool, well, you've got to unlock this door, roll your lockpicking skill. Well, you fail. You don't unlock the door. It's like, all right, well, what do you want to do about this door? I want to blow it open with a grenade. Okay, you don't even have to roll.
Yeah.
You have an open door now, but you've made a gigantic sound. So, like, I
You
want...
can't close it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh,
Which
that.
is sometimes incredibly important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
So all things
Closing
considered...
doors is like really important.
Good to know. Good to know.
So what you looking at? You already have...
I've
your-
already chosen.
Yeah, you've already got it. Okay, so then, Ross, talk us through your skills.
So I come with linguistics, computers, and mathematics. It seems Androidy. I really like the idea of hacking, so I'm sticking with that.
Sounds good.
But if I'm allowed to shift my sort of free-ish train skill that we were talking about earlier to round out my character a little more, then like I feel like botany. He would be like obsessed with bonsai trees or something because like plants are logical. I understand them, unlike those crazy humans.
It's like his
like
zen,
it's-
his chill space.
Exactly. He's always just like, it's like, is the tree okay? Oh, are you guys all right too?
I'm somehow deeply uncomfortable, even more so, with an android that's obsessed with plants. I don't know why that just triggers a response in me that I'm just like, nope. I don't like
I'm
it.
trying to find some color for my
I'm here for it. No, I like. Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
good.
worried about the plants. I'm worried about those scissors.
So, as a warden, I'm going to totally allow that because I think that botany is unlikely to come into play. In this particular, it absolutely might. It definitely might,
Okay.
but it probably won't. We'll
probably
see. This particular one, since androids get an expert skill or two trained skills,
Right.
like you're kind of getting an expert skill and a trained skill as a bonus.
Right.
So I'm just going to state that for like faithful character generation, that probably wouldn't be allowed. Why the hell not?
Okay.
Yeah. let's have
Also, since one shot, we're not going to really have a chance to develop the skills of these characters.
it.
going
Right,
forward,
exactly,
so-
exactly. Sarah,
Oh, I decided to go with explosives.
that's fair. What else you got?
Yes.
I automatically, as a Marine, I come with military training and athletics.
That sounds great. Fantastic. Gabriel,
Cybernetics, mechanical repair, jury rigging, and zoology.
you really disturb me. I just want you to know.
I'm very pleased with that.
And I thought
Yeah.
that was the disturbing one.
That's not uncomfortable at all.
Yeah, you might be making fair saves at disadvantage in his presence as well.
We'll see how that goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kathy.
So I come with industrial equipment and 0G. And then I have added on rimwise and piloting.
Excellent.
I kind of like how we're all like, I come with this, as if we're like action figures being popped out. I come with Kung Fu grip.
Don't open it.
It does technically say that at the top. Like, there
Yeah.
are things
Yeah.
you have to have.
Now with real piloting.
All right. So we're done with step 7.
All right.
We're moving on to step 8. Everybody take 2d10. We're going to do credits first. This will have almost no effect whatsoever because you are on a facility with basically everything already there for you. So 2d10 times 10
My
is
best
your...
roll of the day.
Really? What is it?
15.
15. That's your best roll?
Yeah,
so
he's
sorry.
rolled like all garbage.
Oh my god. Okay. At some point you're going to have to just
Clearly, this is the lucky side of the table with me and Gabriel on it, and like we just won out on the good stats.
I was doing really well in the beginning, for the record. Like, my stats are good. And then my first
But
save.
Gabriel
then it-
clearly
but then it's-
siphoned.
Yeah,
it
and then
just,
it's gone.
It just removed.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Stop it. Give it back.
All right.
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
So you just write down armor points.
So
it's
armor
credits.
points are a different
We'll
thing.
get to that in a minute.
Yep. So let's do our loadout
credits.
Yeah,
last.
that was for credits.
And let's do our trinket and patch. So the trinket and patch, and this is something that I've not seen before. Mothership is generally built to be a very fatal system. So you are in danger basically the whole time. I mean,
We're
you're
gonna
in
die.
space.
We're gonna die.
Nobody should be there. Let's just all get on the same page there. If you are in space, you've made a mistake to begin with.
There are
There's
fewer laws in space.
you have a point.
All right.
So I'm just gonna keep sliding. Corner.
It's okay. It puts you better in frame of the camera.
It's true. It's true. It really does.
So the mothership system is built to be brutal. So the adage is if you're fighting, you're losing. If you are in combat, you've done something wrong, or you are in you have a high percentage of failure / death if you are in combat. So just
Okay.
Like Call of Cthulhu. Like if you've gotten down to a
Yeah.
gunfight, no, you've lost.
right, it's a really bad idea. So you want to avoid combat as much as humanly possible. So all of that kind of trickles down into the trinket and the patch for most people who play this game, like really show you who this person is. So for example, in the last game that we played in Ypsilon, while I'm telling this story, you should roll in the trinkets and patch table. The way that I like to do this is roll 2 percentiles, and then choose which order they go to. One of them will be your trinket, and one of them will be your patch. So if you've got like an 87 and a 42, you can say 87 trinket, 42 patch, or 42 trinket, 87 patch. The way that I like to do that, or the reason I like to do that, is because the patches and the trinkets can really sort of nail down your character, and 9 times out of 10, it's like, oh, that's exactly who this person is. But every now and then, like, you want to swap them because, like, that one feels more true. In the second game of Ypsilon that we played, the difference in which order those happened really fundamentally changed the game. So please experience this in your own way. Even if you need to roll a 3rd time, it's totally fine. But just let it roll over you. Let it become who you are. Let the dice guide you. Russ, you look like you've got a question.
Oh, I'm waiting for my chance.
It's my fault. I'm holding the paper, so I'm bogarting
If
the
only
paper.
somebody had printed out more papers. More papers.
I have a question.
Yes, you have a question, please.
The patch I see on here, number 52, is troubleshooter in quotes.
Yes.
What is that?
It says troubleshooter in quotes.
I get whatever.
Yeah.
However I interpret that.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. So all of these are phrases or descriptions of icons that are left absolutely up to interpretation.
Nice.
Yeah. So troubleshooter could be I'm troubleshooter, meaning I fix things. Also, I just shovel them out the airlock when they bother me.
Okay.
That's at least how I interpret it.
I shoot the trouble.
That's another way to interpret it.
I shoot the trouble. I'm fun.
possibility.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to pick that because I don't like the other thing that goes with it if I do for this character. I think. Yeah. Okay, so I could do an eerie mask and troubleshooter. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm going to do a journal of grudges and a pinup.
Ooh!
I think that's where we're
I
going.
like it. I like it a lot.
I
Both of
really
those are
like the
great.
journal of grudges.
Yeah.
I'm very tickled by that.
And this is another thing about this particular system is that it very much encourages you to adopt a personality that is nothing like yours because you're going to be inhabiting this character for a relatively short amount of time. This isn't a multi-year campaign necessarily. It absolutely can be, but plan to die. Just like real life.
But what? No.
What? Sorry.
No.
Huh? Gabriel, how's it going?
The token reads, is your morale improving? Which the other option wasn't great for what I wanted to do. Both options for the patch were fantastic. The one I have not chosen was Welcome to the Danger Zone.
Nice.
But I really, for a variety of reasons, love the poker hand, Dead Man's Hand, Aces and Eights.
Wow.
Nice. All right.
For two
Interesting.
reasons. One, it's a lovely bit of symbolism for how weird my character is probably going to end up. But there was also a fantastic early, like a mid-90s video game, like one of those like puzzle games called Majestic. It was set in space on a spaceship that was abandoned. The crew had disappeared. And one of the puzzles in it involved the Dead Man's Hand.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Majestic. I'll have
Yeah.
to check that out.
A very old game. I mean, it probably doesn't run on anything anymore, but yeah,
Emulators for
for
the
anybody who's wondering, Dead Man's Hand was the hand of cards that Wild Bill Hickok was holding when he was shot and killed. Pair of aces, pair of eights, and an unknown hole card. Maybe he was winning, maybe he wasn't.
Real history.
Yep.
Actual real history.
We are also an educational episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we really?
We're
mean,
learning
now.
about all sorts of things.
Or did Gabe just say something like intelligent and informative? And
I mean,
the
both
rest
of
of
these
it is
things.
just
Can't it both be true?
garbage.
It's all true.
What you got?
I ended up going with my trinket, a trilobite fossil,
Oh, nice.
and my patch says front towards enemy.
I like it.
As the Marine, that feels like the correct.
Which is
track.
great because also, what was it? Where was the patch thing? The image, in parentheses, it says Claymore Mine, which also is appropriate because explosives.
Yes.
So it just felt
Oh my God.
right on all the fronts.
That's
love it
beautiful.
so
all the
much.
fronts.
Yeah.
Fronts
Ah.
towards the enemy.
Towards enemy.
Ross.
So the trinket that I wear all the time is an eerie mask,
Oh, you took the eerie mask.
Yes. Oh no.
which I imagine for like a disconcerting android.
It might be an improvement.
Well,
Oh,
it's,
God.
so it's one of those big yellow happy faces,
Oh, God.
but it's cracked.
No.
Oh, God. I hate it. So good.
And my patch simply says, "Smile, Big Brother is watching."
And
of
you're
this-
trying so hard to just,
deeply
like,
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you're just like, but why won't the humans like me?
Yeah.
I'm smiling just like the patch says.
I'm so positive, you guys.
Isn't that why other humans smile? Because
Oh
the
my
Big Brother's
Lord.
watching.
No.
I'm
Oh,
smiling.
That's
Nope.
That's the best worst.
Nopey, nope.
well done, you horrible monster.
I have a weird combination of like the Watchmen logo and probably none of you have seen it, but there's an anime called High Rise Invasion where they're all wearing creepy masks.
Oh, I've come in the room while you've been watching that
Yeah.
before. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Uncomfortable.
Okay, so this is just something we're gonna need to know about you. When we picture an android inhabited by the Ross that we have,
The Ross.
the Ross
that we have.
that we
As
have.
opposed to
Yeah,
the Ross
there are
that we
different
didn't
Rosses. Yeah, no, this is the appropriate Ross. This is the one that we got. Thank goodness. But he's wearing a horrible happy
Not the
mask.
Ross we needed, but it is.
I do not understand what is horrible about this mask. I am smiling as instructed.
Okay, now we're going to get to loadouts. This is arguably the most and the least important role because it's not what you get, it's how you use it. So on the Marine loadout, the Android loadout, the Scientist loadout, and the Teamster loadout, this is a huge difference between 0 Edition and 1st Edition. In 0 Edition, it was just, you are this, you get this. In 1st Edition, at least the work in progress that we're currently using, you roll a d10 and that tells you what you get. One of my favorite loadouts, period, is the Teamster if you roll a 9.
You get loungewear,
Nice.
a crowbar, pain pills, and a 6-pack of beer,
Wow.
which is not what I rolled.
Sad times.
I rolled an 8.
Okay, so generally speaking, you're going to see something on your line that says AP and a number. That is armor points. So that is what goes down in the armor points bubble, as you might expect. And then everything else, we're going to write down these and talk through what we've got.
What'd you roll for your Scientist?
I rolled 6.
I rolled a 2.
2. Oh, 2's good.
Would have been boring if we rolled the same number.
Yeah, I mean, you may or may not ever encounter this person. Oh, no, you totally will.
What made that decision?
You'll understand when you're older.
Oh, good. My loadout
Awesome.
includes a lab rat.
Nice.
Yes.
That's convenient.
I'm excited about that.
Oh my god.
I'm sure it's a perfectly normal and healthy lab rat.
Totally.
There's definitely not any extra limbs or stitches places.
Slightly
Doesn't have
undead.
any
Doesn't have like
implants in
a
it.
red cybernetic eye.
Nope,
Yeah.
nothing like that.
None of those.
Definitely
things.
not evil and the source of all of our problems on this ship.
My consciousness certainly hasn't been transferred into its brain.
Oh no.
Wow.
What the fuck?
I really want that to be true now.
When I make our warden say what the fuck, I feel like it's mission accomplished.
We can all go home now. Everything's good.
And good night,
Thank
everyone.
you.
And
You've
good night.
won. Well done. Thank you for watching. Gabriel has disturbed me to the point that we're ending the game.
Yes. This is how you win it, Mothership.
All right. Ross, talk us through your equipment.
So definitely wearing like standard crew attire.
Okay.
But it doesn't fit right. You know, it's just kind of stretched. You know, his one arm's kind of squeezed in over here because he's irregular.
Okay.
I also happen to have a penknife, and that's what he does all his botany with. He's just always
Oh,
just kind
oh,
of
that's very
poking
nice.
at the plants and things. And then you're like, is that? Why do you have a frag grenade on your belt?
That's a question I ask myself all the
it's around his
time.
neck. It's
Oh, around
like a
his neck.
necklace. Yeah, he's just wearing it because he
Even
thought it was a pretty trinket. He was like, "That's doesn't everybody wear these? I mean, it fits my frame. I'm smiling. It makes me happy."
Sarah, save us from this.
I have standard battle dress,
AP
Smart.
what?
AP7.
Ooh.
Wow.
Damn!
Marine,
I'm AP
dude.
one.
Smart rifle with 3 mags, binoculars, and a personal locator.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice. So 3 mags, I'm going to say 3 times 5. So each mag has 5 bullets.
Understood.
Gabriel.
Got a vac suit, AP3.
Nice.
Rigging gun? What is that?
So rigging gun, think of it like a grappling hook in a way. Yeah.
Okay.
You're just like, I'm going to shoot this cable over there.
Got it.
Yeah.
I have a sample collection kit, a flashlight, and a lab rat.
Oh. Does your lab rat have a name?
He will.
It's fantastic.
Do you have a lab rat, or does a lab rat have you?
Yes.
That is the question.
Going on.
In the near future, I may also have a name.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey,
Cat
we've been
break.
joined by a magical cat. What up, buddy?
Kitty body.
Okay. I have standard crew attire, AP Uno.
Awesome.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's good. A flare gun with 2 rounds, a water filter, personal locator, and a subsurface scanner.
Okay. All right. Very well. Very well.
I'll let you know when I need to scan below something.
Absolutely terrified, but I will help you.
Okay. Well, then we almost have our entire crew complement. The one thing that we don't yet have is a ship
You're
name.
such a great crew.
A ship name.
Yes.
Compliment.
So I have 3d20 here. Please roll them, and then that
Not like that.
can count or not.
No. I don't know
So
what it was.
please roll them, and then create an arrangement that pleases you.
Okay.
If you get, I recommend going right to left. Right this is my own creation, by the way. This is not part of the standard Mothership thing. It has a noun on the right, so like giant or monster, and then 2 adjectives. So arrange those in whatever arrangement pleases you.
Okay.
If you roll a 14, let me know.
I did not.
Oh, that's too bad.
I did
It's my
not.
favorite.
It's a good one. Okay, so the one word I have is blissful.
Ooh.
Then we have golden.
Very nice.
And what was the third one? 20. Legend.
Wow. all
That's
right.
not bad.
Yeah.
Full golden legend.
Blissful golden legend.
I don't think rearranging those is going to help.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's really good. All right.
The BGL.
Easiest the BGL.
All right, well,
I like it.
that was the fastest that has ever happened. Well done. Out of 3 times. Excellent. So
Blissful golden legend.
please, upon your ship marker, write the blissful golden legend. Well, my God.
Well rolled.
Oh, there's one last thing. So, Captain. Names we'll get to. That's not the last thing. Okay. Captain, you used to have a 5th crew member.
Oh no.
Can you please decide A or B?
B.
Roll a d10.
I'm gonna pick a new D10. That was a 4.
That's a 4. Okay,
The
so
bees.
Oh, no, Kai.
it's not that bad. It's just like, oh man. So you used to have another Teamster on your ship, Stella Noe. And Stella Noe you sent to fix the reactor when it started to fail. You're not really sure why you didn't fix the android, maybe, or why you didn't send the android. Maybe you thought like the leaking reactor would have overloaded its system or something. But poor Stella died of massive radiation poisoning,
Ow.
but saved the entire ship and all the rest of you. That happened about 5 months ago.
Ooh.
It was just before you picked up the cargo to come to Iago 9. Sorry about that.
Stella.
Like, someone's going to do it. Someone's going to do it.
It
Don't
was
make it be
inevitable.
me.
All right, so we have our crew. Names, we'll get there, but for now, that is our character creation. Some of those things were my own additions, such as how did that extra crew member die, how the ship is built. All of that is coming later through the actual Mothership release. Or, well, I don't know if they'll do how you die. I just love to kill people before they've ever had a chance to exist.
Definitely, please don't clip that out for independent use. Like, that is right there. Like, it's going to be
All right.
like used in court against you one day.
No, it checks out. Okay.
Memes.
Thank you very much for joining us for character creation for Mothership. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the actual play.